Well, we were gearing up for a St. Patrick's Day weekend, and there is no shortage of events for the whole family.
So much fun. The Maine Irish Heritage Center is a hub of all things Irish in Maine. This morning, we have the Executive Director, Eric Brown, and Board Chair, James McClay, here with us. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So first, can we talk a little bit more about the Irish Heritage Center's mission and how long you've been around for?
Yeah, so I just started there last January. So the full history, maybe a little beyond me, but we've been a center there in the former St. Dominic's Church for about just a little over 20 years. A lot of people drive by it, don't actually know that it is the Maine Irish Heritage Center, but we have a lot of activities going on there all the time. Really when it began, the mission was, of course, to preserve and celebrate Irish culture and traditions, but it was also very much about being a true community center, and that mission has maintained. So we do a lot, of course, with specifically Irish music, and the weekend coming up is naturally our biggest, our high season, but we do a lot of other community programming throughout the year, too.
Well, of course, St. Patrick's Day weekend, everybody's Irish.
Yes.
But let's talk about the true Irish community here in our state.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because the building itself goes back to the 1800s and was built by Irish immigrants. I've heard it referred to sometimes as the Irish Cathedral. But Maine is interesting. Maine is the 5th most Irish state in the country.
Oh.
So about 16% of Mainers trace their roots back to Ireland.
Amazing. All right, let's talk a little bit of history about St. Patrick's Day, because people know green and Guinness and things like that, but could you share a little bit more about the history?
Well, so it's March 17th, as we all know. It was the day St. Patrick died, I believe, and I'm going to be really embarrassed if it turns out that was the day he was born, but I'm pretty sure it was the day he died. So traditionally in Ireland, it was always celebrated as a religious holiday. People would have like a special dinner. Might not be an accident that it happens to fall in the middle of Lent and you're allowed to break your Lent on that day, so I think we knew what we were doing when we scheduled it. But it's really interesting. The first parades actually started taking place here in the United States, and I can't remember if it was Boston or New York, but one of them actually held the first parade. So it's almost becoming a bigger celebration here in the States than it is back in Ireland.
Yeah, we've been talking about the parade, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about the parade and the event that you guys have at your center, which I went to last year and had a rockin' good time.
Yeah, last year was amazing. The parade and St. Patrick's Day were both on that Sunday, so I think we got a lot of folks, not just from Maine, actually, but people coming up from Boston and other parts of New England. So I think we had maybe 500.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets bigger every year, and I mean, St. Patrick chooses to celebrate it in Maine, so
yeah.
You know, I hear he's getting off the Casco Bay lines later.
Is he making a trip for the event? How lucky are we?
Cameo, yes. Yeah. We're also this open house actually raffling off a trip to Ireland for a week-long stay on the Dingle Peninsula. So, yes, so we're hoping someone will have the luck of the Irish on that day for sure.
That's incredible. What does it mean, I guess, for you to see all these people, not just the Irish, kind of come together? I mean, that's the goal of the Irish Heritage Center. So you look around, you know, and you just see everyone from all walks of life and backgrounds coming together for this.
It is amazing. I'll give you a quick example, too. Last Sunday, we actually collaborated with the Maine Jewish Museum, and we hosted a dinner around sort of a shared tradition of corned beef, and both of those immigrant communities kind of celebrating, enjoying that. So that is something we do a lot of, actually, partnering with other local groups, local heritage groups. But of course, St. Patrick's Day, as I think you said, everybody's Irish on that day, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, what is it? What makes it so special to be Irish? You got your pin going, you got the derby going, you dress up.
I'm proud to be Irish too.
I mean, aside the Maine Mariners game, all dressed up in your outfit, and last year.
I think we're a community that tries to bring other communities up along with us, and that's something that makes me incredibly proud. I mean, last week was a perfect example where we celebrated corned beef and cabbage with the Jewish community. You know, with everybody knows, I mean, the famine, like Ireland has had a rough history, and I think because of that experience, you know, we want to make sure we give back to the community. We've been very lucky in this country especially, and it makes me incredibly proud to see everybody else celebrate their Irish heritage and to be part of this community.
And how about sort of the turnaround from when Irish, you know, immigrants were coming over and very unwelcomed, and then all of a sudden now you're talking about one of the first parades being held in Boston and things like that. That's such an interesting kind of flip, right?
Absolutely, and I mean, it's something, a narrative that's, you know, still relevant today, and I think again that's where that we talk a lot in the centre because we don't want to be the stereotypical place for people to come and drink. We really want to be a community centre, and we want to give back to all communities. And I think what you're talking about is where we talk about the spirit of Ireland and the spirit of Irishness, where all are welcome. And I think because of our experiences, we want to kind of give back a positive experience to all the other communities.
And let's talk about the event that's going on Sunday after the parade that I went to last year. There's dancing, there's beer there, there's food. You had food trucks last year. It's so much fun.
It really, yeah, it is a true celebration. A lot of that will be coming back this year. So the Stilson School of Irish Dance will be performing. We will have the food trucks. We will have some Guinness and Irish coffee as well. Yeah, it's really amazing. The building, of course, we do programming throughout the year, and we have some traditional Celtic music we'll bring in. We have weddings there, all sorts of events. But for a lot of the year, as someone who's there just about every day, it can be fairly quiet as a church sometimes. And so having that filled up with people celebrating, having it animated, is really a special time. So.
And all are welcome, all ages, everything, families, everybody, right?
For sure.
Yeah, it's very family friendly. And I think it's important to mention too, actually the next day on Monday, on the 17th, we actually gather there at 8 in the morning and do a small community parade down to Harbourview Park where we raise the Irish flag. And that's actually, it's so much quieter, so much more low key, but it's one of my favorite events of the year because it's I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's just this really nice event, where we just walk down, we celebrate Irish culture, we come back for tea and Irish soda bread, play a little bit of music, and then everybody goes and does their thing.
Love it.
I loved how you
Very
described the event
powerful.
Sunday as animated, so that was fun.
Yes.
What's a website people can go to get more information about the parade and that event going on?
Yeah, so MaineIrish.com, that'll have information on all of the events we have this month, the parade. I think there's also a link to that raffle. And then, too, for everyone on, St. Patrick's Day certainly will be paying attention, but we do a lot of programming throughout the rest of the year as well, so you can find information about that there too.
All right. Happy early St. Patrick's
Thank you very
Day.
much.
Thank you
Thank you
both
for
so
having
much
us.
for being here.